this is ridiculous. Okay, 100 facts that you probably never knew. Let's begin. These are completely random. There is no, at first I was like, alright, I need to have a central theme of facts that I will be pulling from, and now I'm thinking to myself, no. Let's do random things that hopefully you don't know, but I actually know the first one, so let's get into it. Bananas are berries, but strawberries are not. What are you talking about? Strawberries are not berries, but bananas are. I don't have explainers on any of these, so if you are a smart aleck of sorts, you can let me know, why this is true in the comments. I could just be making stuff up. I just went to ChatGPT on this one, guys. I don't know. I really want to move back because of how close I am to this. Come on, I know this. Octopuses, octopi more like, octopuses just doesn't sound right to me, have 3 hearts and they have blue blood. What do you think about that? Does anybody know the truth? I believe that. I assume that's true. A day on Venus is longer than a year on Venus. That does not work for my brain at all. Although it does make me, intrusive thought, think I've been seeing a lot of people still. The movie's been out for forever now, obviously. It's not like people are just talking about it now, but Interstellar, and how whatever planet they were on, it has only been X amount of time that has passed since the movie released. Like, it's only been like 7 days on that planet, which I think is pretty cool. Obviously, it is a fictional movie, but obviously there's probably planets where days are clearly passing way slower, way faster. 4, wombat poop is cube-shaped. I don't know how they're pooping cubes, but that's an interesting one. Next we have honey never spoils. Edible honey has been found in ancient tombs. Now that is the good stuff. I assume at that point it's just like wine, where, the older it is, the better it is. Even if it's super, super old. That's interesting. Honey never spoils. Sharks existed before trees. Look, I can't justify any of this. I was not here before sharks. I was not here before trees. I am just a man who is going to AI and believing everything it tells me. That was 7, so 8. Scotland has 420 words for snow. Wow, that's too many words for snow. Is it like different? I imagine it would be different types of snow, like I'm sure you can say, but I guess for my non-Scottish people out there, like, we would just say adjectives to describe the snow. Obviously not different words. That's so many words. The human nose can remember about 50,000 different scents. That actually sounds unbelievable. Oh, well, 150,000. Okay, I definitely thought I muted this already, but we're still receiving text on here. So be it. 50,000 cents. Is there a cap on the amount of cents that you can remember? 50,000 is a lot, I'll be honest. But even remember sounds odd because it seems automatic. It seems like I'm not, unless you're like using your mind to recall a cent. I guess that must be what it means. It's not like registering for some reason. I took that as like the human nose can only register 50,000 cents. Interesting. A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. A flamboyance of flamingos. That's actually pretty sick. Tardigrades or water bears can survive in outer space. What? What are tardigrades? What are water bears? And how the hell are they surviving in space? Is it literally saying a tardigrade is a water bear? Like a bear? What? Again, if you know what is happening here, tell me, because I have no idea what's going on. The Eiffel Tower grows about 15 centimeters taller in the summer. Listen, I just heard recently that something about wood expanding seasonally, but I've never expansion or a shrinkage of wood via the seasons, but the Eiffel Tower growing taller makes no sense to me, especially because it has nothing to do with wood, so I don't understand how that works. But again, obviously clearly based on the fact that it's the summer, it has to do with weather. Oxford University is older than the Aztec Empire. What? That's ridiculous. Cows have best friends and get stressed when separated. How do you know it's their best friend? What did you ask them? Did you ask them if it was its best friend? I don't think so. But that is cute to know. The brain uses about 20% of the body's energy. I've heard this before. It makes sense. The brain's kind of doing a lot. I also think or know that the brain is literally, the eyeballs are like an extension of the brain, where like it's the part of your brain that obviously like your eyes are connected to your brain, but it's processing all the information, but it's like your brain pushed out almost. It's weird. Alright, next, you glow slightly in the dark due to bioluminescence. It's just very faint. I mean, I know we're technically like made up of light. I've actually heard this and it is kind of mind-blowing that you are so much light. That's very, very, it sounded so like, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Put it on a card and give it to somebody. But yeah, I've seen like a bioluminescent ocean. It is actually super cool. Not in person, obviously, in images. Obviously, I'm not as well traveled as you may think, but that is actually sick. But does seem weird because I'm like, dude, if I turn out the lights, I ain't glowing. Like, there's not even. You can tell me there's a faint. Like, you can tell me if you put some kind of radar thing on me, there's a glow, but you're not gonna catch me in the dark. Depending, I mean, if it's pitch black. Butterflies can remember being caterpillars. I would hope, right? I mean, I've never thought about that, but I'm like, if they didn't, what do they just, I mean, it is a new birth, I assume, but like, it says a lot about life too, right? You know, when you go through a change, you remember, I don't know, I'm just trying to, it's a metaphor for life, okay? Some metals explode when dropped in water, not as metaphorical. That is, wow, explode. I wonder what those are. Sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins. What? Dolphins are, man, I don't know much about dolphins. I mean, they're clearly underwater, but are they, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything because I don't know crap about crap. So we're just gonna keep the mouth all shut. There is a species of jellyfish, that is biologically immortal. I actually have heard this. I imagine that would mean, I mean, they're biologically immortal. They must be the longest living creatures, which is absurd. Like, should we be studying them? I would say so. Being immortal, that earns some kind of award, I would say. Humans share 60% of their DNA. Brace yourself with, what do you think? Oh, what are you going to say? You're going to say an animal of some kind? No, it's bananas. It's bananas. We share 60% of our DNA with bananas. Saturn could float in the water. I've heard this theoretically if you had a big enough tub. Why not just say the ocean? Why does it have to be a tub? We're not making a tub big enough for Saturn. Just plop her in the ocean, and even that wouldn't be big enough, but I mean, it doesn't need to be a tub, right? Maybe it does, actually. Like, would there have to be a container of some kind? I don't know. Wait, where are we? A single cloud can weigh over 1 million tons. Again, I will not say anything because I'm just like, what? Do you pass through clouds? Do they have weight? Who knows? Bees can recognize human faces. Does that mean they target you? They target me? I do not know. I mean, I imagine they can see something, but the fact that they could, like, see me again and be like, I mean, again, I don't think they're having thought processes or anything, but that's interesting. I mean, most animals can probably recognize a face, right? If you noticed that the angle changed, that is because at the same time the facts on the iPad I'm reading had the back of it that's holding it up. It slipped, so the whole iPad slid. Then my entire tripod fell on top of my face, and then the thing that was holding the tripod from falling on my face fell and collapsed on my floor. So, there's an interesting fact to throw into the 100. That was not good. But we move on. And I'm on my tippy toes now. What do you think about that? Do I look... Wow, what if I just did this the whole time? That would be much better. Maybe not. The average person walks the equivalent of 5 times around the earth in a lifetime. Yeah, unless I know people who live in New York City. Dudes are walking 20, 30K steps a day. So, there's definitely more active lifestyles. I'll tell you that right now. Penguins propose with pebbles. See, this one... I don't know about this one. What are you talking about? Do penguins understand the idea of a proposal? What are you talking about? This is a human tradition. Doesn't make much sense to me. Doesn't make much sense to me at all. I like to believe it, but I don't know. There's a town in Norway where the sun doesn't rise for months. I like this because it's like I'm telling you facts that are supposed to surprise you, but they surprise me, and I have no idea if they're true, so I'm just making faces at them like, is that actually true? I mean, I wanted them to be not unbelievable, but, you know, I don't know them, so clearly they should surprise me, but the shortest war in history lasted 38 to 45 minutes. Okay, are we talking war, the card game, or are we talking warfare? I mean, I'm going to assume warfare. That is ridiculous, though. Your stomach gets a new lining every few days. Again, must be true. Alright, next we have some cats are allergic to humans. I mean, humans can be allergic to cats, so I would only assume it could go the opposite way. That isn't too surprising to me. Okay, low power mode is actually the worst feature of all time, and we're turning it off. Because I keep getting the dim screen. You can hear a blue whale's heartbeat from over 2 miles away underwater. I guess that makes sense because of how freaking ginormous them things are. Wow, how big would their heart even be? That's absurd. We're already on 32. Fact number 32. Now this is 33. There are more possible games of chess than atoms in the observable universe. Possible games of chess, what does that mean? Like combinations of things you can do in chess? Atoms in the observable universe. How many freaking atoms are in the observable universe? What? Again, crazy one where I'm like, you can tell me there's 10, you know, quadrillion, that's not a number, obviously, variations of a chess game, and I still would be like, there has to be more atoms in the observable universe. What? I don't know. That's interesting. Humans blink about 15 to 20 times per minute. That is a lot. It is kind of crazy. You don't even notice that, but now I'm going to be hyper aware of my blinking. A cockroach can live without its head for days. Not very typical. Don't think a human's doing that one. Hot water can freeze faster than cold water. The Mpemba effect, or is that a silent? That's a weird M-P-E-M-B-A. Hot water can freeze faster than cold water. I mean, it's not really working in my brain, because doesn't seem like it would make sense, but elephants can recognize themselves in mirrors. Again, I don't know what animals can and can't do this. I mean, I'm sure it would just take learning. Like, if a cat saw themselves in a mirror, they'd be like, whoa, what's going on? And then I think if they kept passing the mirror and seeing themselves, they would probably know, but I don't know. The word robot comes from a word meaning forced labor. Well, there you go. That's the era we are headed into, where AI absolutely cooks us because we were mean. We were mean to ChatGPT and Gemini and Claude. If you know, you know. The Terminator takeover. Your bones are stronger than steel by weight. Now, that is the God's design right there. That's what I like to hear. 40. There's a species of ant that farms aphids. Why have I never read that word before, or said that word before? Like cows. That farms aphids like cows. Okay, I don't know why I don't know what that is. Is that a insect, a plant? Like, that could be anything. That could be anything to me. The moon is drifting away from Earth by about 3.8 centimeters per year. Not looking too good. Looking like we're going to be cooked in about 2,950. Hopefully is like fine wine and not cheese when it's 2,950 and we're so far away from the moon. That is crazy. That will YouTube be around then? Hard to say. Hard to say. Some frogs freeze solid and then thaw back to life. Hey, that's cryotherapy if I've ever seen it. That's what humans gotta do as well. Humans can survive longer without food than without sleep. Can survive longer without food. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, dude, no. Yeah, I've heard stories of people freaking fasting for like ridiculous, like as long as they have some kind of liquids. Like, it's ridiculous, so I have no doubt about that. Although I don't really know how long you'd have to not sleep to die. But a lightning bolt is hotter than the surface of the sun. Don't get struck by lightning. Which is also crazy because people have been struck by lightning. The color of Coca-Cola is naturally brown. I don't know if I like that. I know they add coloring, or am I tripping? Most sodas add coloring. That's literally why I like Sprite. It's not healthy in the slightest. Sprite is not healthy, but they at least don't make their soda a different color. I find that very attractive. It just looks like water. Looks like sparkling water. Dolphins have names for each other. Again, like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? They make a noise at each other, and that's their name. They're like, you know what I mean? Like, what are they doing? What are they doing? You're stretching GPT. It's really searching the internet, I would hope. It's not just making crap up. Maybe. The heart of a shrimp is located in its head. Interesting. Could it be the brain? Probably not. But something to think about. You share more DNA with a mouse than you think. That's a funny one, because I was literally thinking I was gonna say you share more DNA with a mouse than a insert. And it just says then you think. How do you know what I think? What if I thought I shared a ton of DNA with a mouse? You have no idea. You have no idea how much I think I share DNA with mice. The longest English word has 189,819 letters. Like again, certain ones I just want to be like, what's the word? You know what I mean? But this would take too long because I'd be literally going in and pulling apart each one. 50 ancient Romans used urine as detergent. That, my friend, is disgusting. That's not good. There are more possible shuffles of a deck of cards than grains of sand on the earth. Here we go again. What? How is that even remotely possible? I have no idea. I guess you can really just do the math on how many possibilities there are. GPT run analysis, you know. I'm such an AI Gen Z goofball. What do we got? No, I went way too far. Whoa, birds don't urinate. What? Did not know that. Some turtles breathe through their butts. I mean, what more do you need to know? Some turtles breathe through their butts. I mean, like what, a type of turtle, or just that one turtle that like has a problem and breathes through his butt? I have no idea. The human body produces enough heat in 30 minutes to boil a gallon of water, theoretically. Wow, did not know that. I really don't know any of these. The largest living structure on Earth is the Great Barrier Reef. Never been under the water to the Great Barrier Reef before. You are slightly taller in the morning than at night. I love that there's no explainer on that. It's just like, yeah, there's just something about the morning where you're just, because of your stupid slouch all day in your chair, you just shrink throughout the day. No, I don't know what it is. Starfish don't have brains. I can see that. I don't know where they're storing the brain at. The dot over an I is called a tittle. A tittle. Trigger word right there. Not that it should trigger you, but an ASMR trigger word. I mean, a tittle. There's a planet where it rains molten glass sideways. I mean, are you just making stuff up? I mean, I can make that up right now. Classic, the one. Where does it rain diamonds? It rains friggin' diamonds. I mean, if this was Minecraft, that would be the place to be. Or if you could just sell them. If you're just a human, maybe I shouldn't go to video games. Maybe just raining diamonds would be great to make a bag or two. Your taste buds regenerate every 1 to 2 weeks. I thought I heard something about your taste buds changing every like 7 years. I don't know if that's a myth or just some random BS, but that's saying it regenerates every 1 to 2 weeks. I don't know. That's okay. 63 of Scotland. Did not know that. If you're Scottish, please validate. Spiders cannot fly, but they can balloon through the air using silk. I feel like, do I know this? I don't know. Balloon through the air is an interesting way to describe it. Humans share 99.9% of their DNA with each other. I don't know if I fully can grasp what that means. I mean, that either sounds super obvious or super weird. Okay. The first oranges weren't orange, they were green. I mean, orange. The fruit is also was orange. The color named after the fruit, or was the fruit named after the color? Real life questions. Real life freaking questions. These. Whoa, I skipped something. Some fish cough. Some fish cough. I've never heard it. Have you heard it? Have you heard of a fish with a cold? I don't think so. They're coughing underwater. Come on now. The sun makes up 99.86% of the solar system's mass. Oh my gosh, that is absurd. What the heck? We gotta do better. Earth's too tiny. Babies have more bones than adults. I have heard that, I believe. Interesting. Oh, here we go. There is a word for the fear of long words. Brace yourself for this one. It is hippopotamonstrosiquipedaliophobia. Hippopotamonstrosiquipedaliophobia. I genuinely think I remember hearing this from a kids' TV show I watched when I was younger, this exact word. I think it was Wizards of Waverly Place, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like I remember what it was. Was it Max? And a spelling bee, either way. This might have been Harper. I think it was Harper. This is the word her opponent received. I don't know. I know too much about Wizards of Waverly Place. Fear of long words. Hip. Which is funny. It's funny there's a long word for a fear. It's funny there's a fear of long words. That's comical. There's a word for the fear of long words. Hippopotamonstrosiquipedaliophobia. Whoever made that was like, I'm gonna piss a lot of people off who are afraid of the fear of long words is the longest word. 71, a bolt of lightning contains enough energy to toast 100,000 slices of bread. Why are we not doing this, folks? Why are we not doing this? Plants can hear caterpillars chewing. Interesting. Plants can hear, period, is an interesting one to me. Again, the more you know, the more you know. The human eye can distinguish about 10 million colors. That is a lot of colors. That is a lot of colors. The longest living vertebrae is the Greenland shark. Did not know. You have unique tongue prints. I guess that makes sense. I mean, fingerprints are obviously completely unique, so I don't find that hard to believe. There are more possible music melodies than atoms in the universe. Again, what are we talking about? I cannot fathom the amount of atoms in the universe, nor the amount of music melodies that are possible. So, I don't know. Some metals sing when bent. What does singing imply? Just kind of like an ongoing noise that reverberates. Like, what do we... Or is it gonna, like, start, dropping beats and dropping lyrics? Obviously not, but seriously, I assume it's... I mean, the way it says sing makes me... I wonder what that could mean. What are we classifying as singing? Just a ringing noise. The brain can't feel pain. That's an interesting one. So can only the... Oh, that could get philosophical. I don't want to go too deep on that. The brain can't feel pain. So yeah, it's always you. But then that begs the question, what are you? Very philosophical, because most people would argue that they are the brain, but if the brain cannot feel the pain and you are the one feeling the pain and the brain is telling you to feel the pain, who's feeling the pain? Man, I could go real deep on that. Are you more than the brain? Are you more than the body? I think yes. Whole different conversation, my friends. Whole different conversation. Okay. Ants don't sleep like humans. They take micro naps. I mean, they're tiny, so that makes sense. What do they do? That polyphasic sleep. Nice little 30-minute, 1-hour nap. Wake up. Do it again 3 hours later. The word salary comes from salt. So when you get paid your salary, just remember. Although I do believe that, I don't know if it was prior to money, I mean, the bartering system was just whatever was valuable. So if salt was valuable to like preserve food, maybe that's why salary would come from it. Maybe I'm stretching here, but if at one point in time the bartering system involved a good like salt, maybe it was just like you got paid your salt every year. That's how you're getting your valuable salary. Saltery. There are invisible colors humans can't see. Invisible colors, I mean, what are we talking about right now? I mean, come on. What do you mean? What does that mean? I guess it's invisible to the human eye, but some lizards can't squirt. What can squirt blood from their eyes? What the hell? Why would any lizard want to frickin' do that? Disgusting. That is disgusting. Your body has more bacterial cells than human cells. Roughly equal, actually. Okay, so it's not. Don't tell me it is more than, say, equal. Roughly equal. The longest hiccuping spree lasted 68 years. That is literally ridiculous. And honestly, I would be taking that up with God. I'd be like, God, you put me on this friggin' earth. You gave me 70. Like, watch this guy. I mean, what if he lived to like 70? Like, literally 99% of his life, his final 2 years. He's like, oh, I'm retired, I'm this, I'm that, and boom. It's like, bro, I've been hiccuping for free since I was a young boy to when I was retired. A group of owls is called a parliament. Okay, that's sick. Who? Okay, now I was gonna say who claimed that as an owl joke. Sorry, don't click off the video yet. We're so close, we're on 86 of 100. The first alarm clock could only ring at one time. Wow. Okay, I mean, that's fine. I'm spoiled, we're spoiled these days. Got your, Alexas and crap that you can just set 10 alarms and, yeah, can't relate. There's a mushroom that glows in the dark. Extremely believable. That would look actually pretty sick to see. Humans can't taste food properly while flying due to cabin pressure. That is weird. I'm not a big eater on planes though. I'm not really on planes a lot anyway, but I definitely don't eat much. And actually there was a time, shouldn't be talking about this, but I ate right before a flight. I will never do that again. I kind of knew subconsciously it was a horrible idea. Literally had to use the bathroom before the plane even took off. 10 out of 10 would never ever recommend doing such a thing. Don't risk it. Do not eat before a flight. Maybe you're like, honestly, what I ate too was stupid. So it's like, if you know you're good, but I just can't risk it because if my stomach's good, I'm just like, don't mess it up unless I'm starving. Like, I'll eat in the morning, but that's the ideal, is eat in the morning, let everything settle. I can't be cramming food before a flight. I just can't do it. Never again. Okay, we're almost there, and we're still in low power. We're almost dying on this iPad. The fingerprints of koalas are almost indistinguishable from humans. Interesting. The word nerd was first coined by Dr. Seuss. What? Nerd? How old is Dr. Seuss? I feel like nerd has to have been around for like friggin' a long time. Interesting. Some rocks float. Wow. If that isn't the most believable. I mean, yeah, probably some rocks do float. You just got these unbelievable ones, and you've just got ones that are like, yeah, a rock could float, in theory. Yeah. Jellyfish are over 95% water. Is that why they're immortal? Because we're not 95% water, we're majority water. Not 95% though. The average person produces about 1 liter of saliva per day. Disgusting, but good to know. There's a species of deer with fangs. I do not want to meet the were-deer or become a were-deer myself. So gonna avoid that. Don't want the fang deer. Humans are the only animals that blush. I thought I heard there was another animal that blushed. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. That's weird. A day used to be 21 hours long millions of years ago. Look, I wasn't here a million years ago. Okay, so, yeah, look, if anybody in the comments, let me know if you were here a million years ago. Let me know if that's true. Plants can communicate using chemicals. Okay, believable. Again, 100%. The longest English sentence ever published is over 800 words. I was gonna say it's not long, but I'm like, I guess that first sentence, that is absurd. So you can just keep doing run-ons. How can someone not top that? Somebody can top that. 99. You've never seen your real face, only reflections or images. Again, is that really? I mean, it's a fun random fact. I mean, it's true. Like, I'm looking at myself right now. But who cares? You know, you can't. Yeah, I can't look at my own face, but I am looking at my own face. You know what I mean? It's kind of probably the same. I would hope. Hopefully, it's more glorious in person. But and lastly, at this exact moment, okay, this is cool. At this exact moment, trillions of neutrinos. What? I thought I was gonna say neurons. I thought it said neurons. It says neutrinos. It sounds like a restaurant. What? Trillions of neutrinos are passing through your body. Alright. What the hell is that? Either way, cells, mitochondria, neurons, etc., electricity, light, all of it is passing through your body just so that you can watch a freaking ASMR video, which is sick, by the way. I think that's sick. And with that, my friend, is 100 random facts about literally random, completely random things. So let me know what your thoughts were. I would love to do more of these videos because I think it's cool to kind of have me just babbling and yapping about a bunch of nonsense. Some people might be like, oh, that's cool, that's interesting, I want to hear the fact, etc. And other people might be like, I'm going to fall asleep to this because this guy's just yapping and yapping and yapping and yapping and yapping. So let me know if you want more of these. I can do themes, I can do space, animals, forests, you know, whatever biomes exist, whatever other things exist. Could do this about shows, random facts, whatever. I could do a ton of stuff. So let me know what ideas you got in the comments below. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Love this angle, this high up angle. And with that said, I will catch